Royal Selection has completed a salary survey of chief financial officers within private equity-backed aerospace and defence companies across the US. We separate this into three categories: sub 50 million in revenue, 50 million to 150 million, and 150 million in revenue plus. Therefore gives us scope and scale for the lower and middle market sector of private equity backed companies. So to kick us off, we'll do the sub 50 million category of chief financial officers in aerospace and defence private equity backed companies. The lowest basic salary was $100,000 US. The highest basic salary, which was a bit of an outlier, was $408,000 US, which in my experience is incredibly high for a sub 50 million revenue business. We don't know the details behind that individual because it was an anonymous survey. The second highest was $300,000 US, which again is quite high for 50 million, but I appreciate if it's a particular niche industry within A&D, then that can happen. That gave us a median salary of $200,000 US. The lowest bonus for chief financial officers was 10%, and the highest for chief financial officers was 70%. Equity positions within those businesses, 60% of the candidates surveyed had an equity position and 40% of them did not. As we'll always reiterate, please do private equity firms offer an equity position. It ties everybody in. For the 50 million to 150 million in revenue category, the lowest basic salary was $155,000 US, and the highest basic salary was $330,000 US. Pretty atypical, especially with the large spectrum from 50 to 150 million. That gave us a median salary of $204,000 US. The lowest bonus was again 10%, and the highest bonus was 90%. Over the whole category of chief financial officers interviewed, the average was around, or the median was around 40%. I was really pleased to see these figures from 50 to 150 million. I'd be a lot more pleased if it was 100%, but 75% of chief financial officers in A&D had an equity position, and only 25% didn't. For the 150 million plus category, the lowest basic salary was $150,000, and the highest basic salary was $350,000, again for chief financial officers. That gave us a median salary of around $250,000. The lowest bonus percentage was 20%, and the highest bonus percentage was 80%. Pretty disappointing figures for the 50 to 150 million, but only 33% of those interviewed had an equity position, and the remaining were without an equity position. As we always reiterate, please do offer an equity position. From what we've seen, the individuals that we've introduced into companies, they have produced higher exit multiples because the chief executives, the CFO, the COO are all tied into a common goal to produce higher amounts from a valuation. This concludes the CFO private equity backed aerospace and defence salary review. Should you be looking for chief financial officers, or of course anybody across the C-suite, to come and join your private equity portfolio company, please do reach out to us. We'd be happy to help with your next search.